Hello and welcome back. I'm Lost, and this is Hearts of HOI4, new Millennium Dawn mod, where we are playing as China and preparing for a war against I'm not sure whom. I really don't need to be fighting a war. Nice, I have tons of light tanks. Let's add another run of them. Heck, I'm feeling generous. Let's add 2. And then let's go into our infantry divisions. And we will throw in a single light tank to our infantry divisions, which will probably wipe out all of the light. Yeah. Yeah, I had 4,000, now I need 4,000. But that's okay. You know why? Because I can do this. And soon we won't need 4,000. Someone joined something. Oh, wow, the Commonwealth of Asia is growing. I think that is primarily a response to the strength of Aidu. Which reminds me, I need to send them they are currently a different ideology, but that will go away soon. And then their base reluctance should go away, so. Well, the base reluctance won't, but that's okay. Alright. I have free civilian factories. I have no idea what I need to build. But we'll repair the road networks in Japan. We will build new naval bases on the Japanese islands to facilitate our Navy's spread into the Pacific. You know what? Let's make sure we've got the air bases on those islands up to. Okay, Japan. Okay, Japan. Wow, you guys were really better prepared for me than I thought. That does explain some of the difficulty I had in conquering you. You know what? Let's put radar installations all along the borders. And since we're going to take some time to prepare for this war, not jump into it like a madman, I mean that. Let's also put air defense along our primary borders. I don't anticipate the air defense stopping the combined might of the air forces of NATO. My air forces will have to do that, which is why I am also going to build a ton of airfields all along the border, more so than I already have. That should be enough. And we will probably end up distributing aircraft all along the line in pockets of hundreds. And we'll probably end up putting out 300 or 400 fighters in each location with 200 defensive and 200 offensive. along with 200 or 300 close air support and 100 bombers, or 50 bombers, so we can knock out defenses and drop nukes as needed. Now, I have built everywhere, despite the fact that NATO doesn't actually control Finland. I will have to worry about Norway. Yes, Norway. They don't have Ukraine, but that could change because I could declare war on the Ukraine, and my declaration of war on the Ukraine could precipitate the war against NATO. My hope is to knock European NATO out of the war and then deal with the US. That's the hope. It's going to be a hell of a fight when it happens, which is why I'm not rushing it. It's also why I'm going to add another 40 armored divisions for the charge into Europe. Okay. All right, let's keep moving. Am I declaring war on anyone? Expeditionary forces justifying war against Georgia. Okay. Which is that. Which will give me better control over the entry points to Turkey and free up those divisions to move north against Norway. Okay, that'll work. What? I'm not sure how to take this. Because I can't exactly say, hey, US, come join my faction, because they're already in one. And they're the leader of that faction. And it's a big faction. I mean, you know, it's a big faction. And they're guaranteeing the independence of a lot of places. So, a bit weird, but okay, US, okay. When will the declaration against Georgia be ready? March 25th. Not bad, 2 months. And Georgia is trying to get El Salvador. Sort of like I'm trying to get South Africa. Good, it's 2010 and we're working our way through the 2010 research. I wonder how much more growth I'm going to see of these smaller factions. Because there are two big factions and 4 small ones. And we've wiped out one. We wiped out CSTO when we founded IDU. And I still have limited conscription. I love the fact that I have 17 million available for recruitment and limited conscription. NATO is doomed. They probably have more people available if they go with high conscription, but my population base there's nothing I need to change. My population base is 1.44 billion. Which is actually pretty low, but we have kind of nuked our way through some countries, so yeah. Can't really say I'm surprised that my population is larger. Georgia didn't even last long enough to ask to be part of a faction. 6 days. 7 days. We've got 40 divisions there, we've got 40 divisions here. Let's send these divisions there. Kick those guys out. Oh, I have too many divisions out there now. I'll disband those. Right. One mechanized, 2 mechanized, 2 armored, 2 infantry. You know what? Let's train some more mechanized. And we'll train another set of infantry. You know what they say, no kill like overkill. Alright, 120 more divisions. We currently have 80 divisions. You know what, let's break this down a little bit. New theater. And your name is going to be Airborne. And then we will you to a new theater. Armored. You also. And you to a new theater, which we named infantry. This is motorized. And this one is loaner. Because those are loaner divisions. We have 16 divisions on loan from from Hong Kong and Macau. And I'm just leaving them there for now. They may eventually be given a smaller role somewhere else. But for now, we're leaving them where they're at. Alright, Ukraine. You are my next target because you will change the border some. Honestly, I'm not sure I want Ukraine. Because it's going to put me up against Romania here and here. Whereas if I ignore Ukraine, then my border is here. The broader border will make it easier for me to conquer. So yes, Ukraine, you are a victim of your own location. Italy wants to join. That would take them out of NATO. How do I feel about this? I've not considered the possibility of letting anyone from Europe into my alliance. I hadn't even considered the possibility of allowing anybody from Africa into my alliance until suddenly it became a possibility. If I allow Italy in, it will redirect NATO forces until such time as Italy is destroyed, but Italy will not take long to destroy. It will, however, give them somewhere else to shoot, making it easier for my troops to move through. Yes, Italy, you are welcome to join me. And hopefully you will be the first of many recruits to the I Do cause. I have a feeling that when I hit this button for Ukraine to start the war, the shit's gonna hit the fan. So what I'm gonna do Alright, you guys are all in Japan still. I am going to find my occupied airfields and disband my air wings. Yeah, actually, you can stay. And go. I'm not sure that Kamchatka is going to get me where I need to be. So what we're going to do is max out the airfields here, max out the radar here, max out the anti-air here. Okay. Finally, I thought I had bombers over here somewhere. Have I gotten rid of all of my aircraft? I have. Okay, all of my air forces are gone. Fine. Zambia has ignored it. Uganda, Tanzania, South Africa, Mozambique, Kenya, Ethiopia, Botswana, Angola. Open communications. Okay, so where's this open communications? There it is, open communications. There we go. Oh, research slot. Okay. Now, before the war with Ukraine begins, I need to get my aircraft out, so I have till September. Let's expedite the airfields, because that's going to be the most important. Not that we don't have enough factories, that's not going to be, that's going to be a problem. Then we need to prepare our fleet, which is apparently down to 37 ships. No. You sail back to Shanghai. Merge the fleets. Much better. And then what we will do is your home base will be here, and you will sail there, and we'll just deal with that for the moment. We'll need another fleet over here, or two, because we're going to have to defend against the US fleet. Yes, I know. Defending against the US fleet is probably the height of foolishness. Orange, I need to set your goal. There, and you can go when ready. Okay, let's get our fighters and our multi-rolls in place. That's right, the multi-rolls are the fighters. Derp. My hope, because I don't think I have another choice here, is that I can have them spread out, have the NATO air forces spread too thinly, because I genuinely do not believe I can manage to outnumber them if I do all concentrated in one spot. The US is just too big, too powerful. I'm hoping that I can outperform them, and the entire arena is foolish. So each of these is a separate air zone. Jesus. Okay. Well, we'll primarily focus on defensive then. We will keep the time moving ahead, though. Might as well get closer to our end goal. And it is suddenly raining very hard here. Which is strange because it was perfectly clear half an hour ago. Okay. We will deploy another one here. We'll move the bombers around. Nope. Nice thing is, I don't actually have to care about which model of the airplane I select, because it will just update it to whichever one is the newest that I have enough of. Nope, that's 200 multi-roll. 300 multi-roll. 400 multi-roll fighters there. So I now have 1,200 fighters in Europe. I'm going to ignore Scandinavia for now. We'll try to get another 800 aircraft, 800 fighters, and 800 close air support down here in the Middle East, which we will then move north as we move north through Turkey into Europe. I wish aircraft were a little bit easier to manage. I mean, they're not terrible, but when you get this many, when you have, what, 2,000 fighters and 2,000 bombers spread across a front, it starts to add up. And when you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 air zones that you have to defend, or you could be attacking into, you end up needing a lot of fighters spread across a lot of area to do the job. The hope is, as I said, that I can outnumber them. Not everywhere, just in enough places to be decisive. I think I can manage that. Right. So now it's what, 2,800 aircraft? I mean, at least with the armies, I can say, deal with this area or move around as needed. But, you know, it is what it is. You can't have everything. Alright, I think we have enough aircraft spread along this front. I think. There's the airbase. Let's grab 100 bombers if we've got them. So we have 100 bombers down in this area, 100 bombers up in this area. We are more or less ready for this war. Okay, it's 2010. Do we have new aircraft? Not until 2016. And we have no further attack aircraft. We actually have to go to tactical bombers and start using drones. So I guess I'm going to start researching drones, even though I don't really want to use them. And we'll have to switch over to those for close air support. But I think we're going to stop for today. I know it wasn't much. We didn't really get anywhere. Our faction did grow by adding Ethiopia. And we'll probably end up needing to send support to Ethiopia and declaring war on some of the African countries around Ethiopia in order to make them a stronger force and a larger player in the region. But that's probably going to have to wait for the war with NATO. We also got Italy, who will probably die in the war with NATO. So, until next time, when we will probably be, well, the war with Ukraine will happen. And that may precipitate the war with NATO. Until then, good luck in your own wars. Happy gaming.